You're such an asshole.
So this request was originally a little bit, well, not originally, it was a little bit confusing to me. He says like, oh, hey, somebody wrote in and then somebody responded. Can you read this? Da, 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 da. It's basically a Dear Abby column at thecut.com, which is owned by the New Yorker magazine, which he's paid me, so I got to click on it. But just so you guys know, there's no reason to click or read these articles. There's an article that's making it on Twitter, and it was some UK pansy guy by the name of Ian something or other, Ian Dauber, and everybody's forwarding it. It's like, guys, did you look at him? Did you look at him? Oh, wow, he wrote some stupid shit. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Somebody's going to write some stupid shit. Yet the stupid shit is what gets promoted the entire time. Which I understand is kind of a self-correcting, like, oh my God, let's point out the bad shit in society. But The Cut is something similar to it. I've never heard of The Cut. I don't care about The Cut. I don't care who wrote it. But he linked to it. He paid me, so I'm just... The other takeaway, in addition to what my analysis will be, is not to let this stuff bother you, man. Like, don't even forward it. So a young man writes, I've enjoyed many of your asshole consulting and older brother videos. The contrast between your honesty and the lies out there was blindingly bright after reading the Cut article. I'm broke and mostly friendless. I've wasted my whole life. I provided a link there. The woman who calls herself haunted is the classical enjoy the decline story. My request is for you to 1. Quickly summarize Haunted's question, 2. Critique columnist Heather Havraleski's response with a focus on its usefulness and self-absorption in contrast with the type of truth you would lay down. The Cut is part of the New York magazine. Columnist has been at this since 2012 and has written 2 books. Well, yeah, okay, so have I. I mean, like, I'm a low bar standard. So, let's just go to The Cut and read through it. A little bit of water here. The Cut. I'm broke and mostly friendless, and I've wasted my whole life, by Heather Havraleski. This is the Ask Polly question. Hi, Polly. I feel like a ghost. I'm a 35-year-old woman and I have nothing to show for it. My 20s and early 30s have been a twisting crisscross of moves all over the West Coast, a couple of brief stints abroad, multiple jobs in a mediocre role with no real upward track. I was also the poster child for serial monogamy. My most hopeful and longest lasting relationship, 3.5 years, will be ended 2 years ago. We moved to a new town, created a home together, and then nosedived into a traumatic breakup that launched me into my 5th and current city, and who knows what number job. I'm going to tell you this right now. That is such a well-written paragraph. I don't even know if this person exists. This could be totally fake. This could be AstroTurf. The Great One over at sinlibsoch.com, he will read through, is it Salon's equivalent to Dear Abby? He'll read through it, and they're way too salacious. You know, like, my husband ran off with another woman, but I ran off with another husband, and then we had this thing and this stuff. It's too scripted, and this sounds a little bit too scripted right here. So I'm just saying it could all be BS. I mean, this could all be BS just to get the clicks for The Cut. For all these years of quick changes and rash decisions, which I once rationalized adventurous, exploratory, and living an original life, I have nothing to show for it. I have no wealth. I'm now saddled with enough debt from all my moves, poor decisions, and lack of career drive. See, the fact she's admitting that, I call bullshit on this. I don't think this is a legitimate article. I don't think this is a legitimate letter. And the lack of career drive that I have never been able to retire. I have no milestones. I don't care for my line of work all that much anyway, but now it's my lifeline. As I only have enough savings to buy a hotel room for 2 nights. I have no family nearby, no long-term relationship built on years of mutual growth and shared experiences, no children. While I make friends easily, I've left most of my friends behind in each city I've moved from while they've continued to grow deep roots. Marriages, home ownership, career growth, community, families, children. This sounds so scripted. Because a leftist woman, let's just admit it, a modern day 35-year-old woman would not ever admit this much defeat. Not at all. That's why I don't think this was a real article. This is why I didn't forward it. I remember this, it came out, November, December? A couple months ago. It was too good. Too good. And you guys all fell for it. I have a few close girlfriends for which I am grateful, but life keeps getting busier and our conversations are now months apart. Most of my nights are spent alone with my cat. Cue the cliche. Yeah, it is. It's too cliche. It's too real. Used to consider myself creative, a good writer, poetic, passionate, curious. Now after many years of demanding yet uninspiring jobs, multiple heartbreaks, move after move, financial woes, I'm quite frankly exhausted. I can barely remember to buy a dish soap, let alone contemplate humanity or be inspired by Anais Nin's diaries? Who's the nice Nins? Honestly, I find artists offensive because I'm jealous and don't understand how I landed this far away from myself. Also, within the past year, I've had a breast cancer scare. Required surgery on my uterus due to a fertility scare. On top of that, I'm 35 and every gyno and women's health website this side of Mississippi is telling me my fertility is dropping faster than a piano falling out of the sky. Well, that's true. This is, dude, I'm being honest with you, okay? I know you want me to think this is a real person. Let's beat up on her. This isn't real. This is a lie. This is bullshit. This is fabricated. The main reason is that somebody with way more couth wrote it than an intellectually honest 35-year-old is like, oh my god, did you know that like menopause is... Women who are in their 30s don't think menopause is a thing. Women with this much snap to the hip, to the 7, to the 6. You go, girl. They would never admit this much defeat. This is a softball piece so that what's-her-name can answer it. That's what this is. I don't believe it. I don't believe a word of it. Not a word. Booty boo. Now I'm looking into freezing my eggs. Well, of course. Adding to my never-ending financial burden in hopes of possibly making something of this haunted house and having a family someday. I'm trying poly. I am. The people at Poly wrote this. I'm dating, I'm working out, I'm working hard, listening to music and enjoying loving my cat. Calling my mom, yet I truly feel like a ghost. No one knows I am or where I've been. I haven't kept a friend, lover, or foe around long enough to give anyone a chance. What's the point? I don't care for my job. I'm not building anything towards anything, and I don't have the time or money to really invest in what I care about anyway. At this point, my apathy is coming out in weird ways. I'm drinking too much, and when I do see my friends on occasion, I end up getting drunk and angry or sad and both and pushing them away. And with men I date, I feel pressure to make something of the relationship too soon. Move in, get married, I have to have kids in a couple years, fun times. What's great about this article is the people at the cut, the women and men at the cut, know exactly what women are thinking. This is brilliant. I mean, this is why I have Operation Evil, is because deep down, this is proof that the men and women at the cut, these liberal New York types, know exactly what's going through the minds of women. This is not a real person. This is people at the cut writing and scripting something that's salacious, so it's going to get clicks. And you guys forward it. You did. You fell for it. This is not real. This is not legitimate. It's all bullshit. And then here comes Heather. She's going to sock puppet her own. Lord Almighty, probably is Heather who wrote it. Oh, wait. I missed it. Where'd it go? Wow. Heather writes a lot of fucking shit. Dear Haunted, art isn't something you need an outside license or a paycheck to pursue. It's a way of life. It's a way of adding up what you feel and where you've been. and what you fear and what you can imagine. It's a way of seeing your life through a lens that makes everything good and bad, confusing, clarifying. She's just talking to herself. She really is talking to herself. This is, I almost guarantee you she wrote the thing. Valuable. Shame is the opposite of art. Shame is the opposite of art. No, it isn't. The opposite of art is nothing. The opposite of art is minimalistic art. Fucking people using politics. Like, it just represents the coming and the impressions and the things and the stuff with my vagina hurting because there's sand in it. You'll live inside your shame. Everything you see is inadequate and embarrassing. A lifetime of traveling and having adventures and not being tethered to long-term commitments looks empty and pathetic and foolish through the lens of shame. No, it's pretty fun. You can tell a woman wrote this because there's now feelings and emotions that have nothing to do with the critical analysis of like, well, did you have fun at least? You haven't found a partner, you face this age and your body will only grow weaker. Your mind is less elastic. Your time is running out. Shame turns every emotion into the manifestation of some personality flaw, every casual choice into a giant mistake, every small blunder into a moral failure. Shame means that you're damned and you've accomplished nothing. It's all downhill from here. You need to discard some of this shame you're carrying. No. If we are to take it at face value, we can already tell where this is going to go. There is no way the author of the article, whatever her name is going to say, yeah, well, maybe you should have found some other guy, maybe you should have lost some weight, maybe you shouldn't put your career first, maybe you're not the center of the universe, blah, 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 blah. No, it's going to go into this amorphous, oh, it's shame and self-inflection. You go, girl. I just don't. I don't have the energy or the time to care. I know you want me to get riled up and angry, but I can't because, 35-year-old spinsters are going to 35-year-old spinster. They're going to, like, jerk off or twaddle or twat to their master's degree. They're not going to, like, stay hot or stay wedded or like put other people in front of their lives. That's just not going to happen. So now I got to read this article where it very is likely the person who wrote in the letter is the person who's answering the letter. Ask Polly. I mean, what do we got? What, really? Oh, you go, girl. I mean, how many times do we have to go through this? You go, girl. It's amazing. You're wonderful. You're brave. You're courageous. You're empowered. And you want me to what? Say, hey, look at this. Yet another strong, independent-minded woman who did exactly what she was scripted to do realizes she's miserable and blah, blah, blah. I just can't. I can't give a shit anymore. I kind of like... It's more of a... It really is that. You need to discard some of the shame you're carrying around all the time, but even if you can't cast off your shame that quickly from the lens of art, shame becomes valuable. When you're curious about your shame instead of afraid of it, you can see the true texture of the day and the richness of the moment. With all of its flaws, this we've already immediately removed. Like, hey, bitch, maybe you're not the center of the universe. You ought to go find yourself a man. We've already gone into the depths, and the morass, the gray area of feelings and emotions and shame. You can run your hands along your own self-defeating edges until you get a splinter, and you can pull the splinter out and stare at it and consider it. When you face your shame with an open heart in the folds of your day. It's hard to read this because it really must be hard to be a liberal writer because it's all bullshit. Like, and she managed to write. We're not even a tenth through this article. What's that like, liberals, where you got to write leftist bullshit after leftist bullshit to, hang on. This is a pen. You liberals could find a way to make an 8-page paper about how it's patriarchal, it's sexist, it's misandrist, it's misogynist, it's istinist. You would be, but that's got to be painful, man. It's a pen. It's a pen. And you guys think, well, the deeper inner philosophical, oh, fuck you, it's a pen. Period. End discussion. Move on. You're going to see more of this stuff as Gen X women get old and spinstery, and the millennial girls also get old and spinstery because everyone raped them. Everything's rape. It's all rape. It's all, oh my God, look at this. Rape. It's soda water. I rape the soda water. Shame is the opposite of art. When you live inside your shame, you can run your hands along your... Even as your job is slow and dull and pointless, even as your afternoons feel lone, treacherous, and daunting, you can train your eyes on the low-hanging clouds until a tiny bit of sunlight filters through. Lose weight, get fake tits, go find a guy. HassleConsulting.com. You are alive. You will probably be alive for many decades to come. The numbers on your credit card statement can feel harrowing. You can take that feeling and keep it company instead of letting it eat you alive. You can walk to the corner store to buy a newspaper and pull out the weekend calendar section and circle something and make a commitment to do that one thing. This is not answering our question. You can build a new kind of existence, one that feels small and flawed and honest. But each day you accumulate a kind of treasure that doesn't disappear. Because instead of running away from the truth, you welcome it. You don't treat what you have as pointless. You work with what you have. That's a brilliant paragraph where you manage to say nothing. That's why women make less than men, because you can not do any fucking production. None whatsoever. That doesn't mean it's easy. It's not easy for anyone, no matter how many deep roots they've nurtured. I find it very hard, even now, to do the hard things that I need to do in order to feel good. I slip into bad habits easily without noticing. This is totally about herself. My worldview suffers from it. I know exactly which good practices I will fuel me and make me wake up in the world around me. I know that when I'm feeling ashamed and sick inside, I have to stand outside of that feeling and examine it and treat it like it's a fascinating artifact, something useful, something to build from, something to treasure even. Let me be more concrete. Oh, please. Promoting a book, which is what I've been doing since my new book. She promotes right there. Really? You guys fucking forwarded this shit. It's fun and exciting. What's her new book? The Vagina Monologues, the hoo-has. Heather Harleski. What if this were enough? Essays. She's only got 36 reviews. This is so sad. She actually has she's connected. Now, if I have 37 reviews, that's a pretty good book I wrote. But these people, where they actually are in the business and they get the promotions, they only got 37 reviews. Yeah, look, she's a 40-year-old gal, and she's very average-looking. In the New York, what if this were enough? How to be a person in the world. The disaster preparedness writing appeared in New York and New York Times. It's a guy with long hair. That's all she is. That's all she looks like. If you girls want to be a washed up solid 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, go become this gal. But less is also a story about shame. When you carry around a suspicion that there's something sort of embarrassing or pathetic about you, or finds ways to project a shame onto completely innocuous things. You find ways to tell yourself that everyone's laughing at you behind your back somewhere, possibly at a party where they are served. Shame creates imaginary worlds inside your head. I didn't charge you enough for this, dude. I did not charge you enough, because we are... Oh God, she manages to write so much. Oh God, fuck. I could jump in at any point in time. It's not going to be any value. I don't have to read. Learn to treat yourself the way a loving older parent would. Tell yourself this reckoning serves a purpose. What is it like to be this woman? To come up with this nonsensical slop? To just write and write and write and not actually have an objective, clear point. To not have a goal. To have a like, oh, X, Y, and Z. Boom, boom, boom. Here's how you get to it. Learn to treat yourself the way of older. Tell yourself, this reckoning serves a purpose. Your traveling served a purpose. Your moving served a purpose. You're sitting on a pile of gold that you earned through your hard work. You just can't see it. You can't see it because you're blinded by your shame. No! She's your standard fucking multiple tens of millions of liberal arts majoring women that offer nothing of value and no guy wants to bang. Period. And, well, we don't need no man. I know. You don't need a guy. Yeah, okay. All right. It's okay to be in debt and worried. No, it's not. No, it's not. It sucks to be in debt. You shouldn't be in debt. It's okay to feel lonely and lost. Yeah, but not at 35. Dude, by the time I was 35, I figured it out. Like, yeah, boom, done. Here's my mistakes. Here's my flaws. This is where I totally fucked up. Here's where I succeeded. And bada boom, bada bing. If you're 35 and single and in debt, what will you build? Only you know that. What is the shame worth? You'll find out once you start digging in. I'll start for you. Oh, here's a highly successful gal. My shame is enormous. I keep seeing that lately. It keeps me online interacting with ghosts, making meaning out of my pointless little broadcasts and pronouncements. That would be pointless, yes. Keeps me scanning the horizons for improvements. My shame keeps me fixated on novelties, on the future, on some exciting version of me that's only a purchase or a breakthrough. Purchase! Wow. You could be better than this, my shame whispers in my ear. You need to try harder. You need to try the scary things you carry around. You need to act like you've arrived, even though you're so inadequate and broken that you never will. So you 30-something broads are finally admitting that you are a bunch of fucking losers and you were lied to and strong, independent, don't need no man. Trademark. When I'm hiding from my shame and also viewing my life through the lens of that okay, hang on. The original question was about 5 paragraphs. The response is 20. Let's go up over here. I get fixated on what needs fixing, but nothing needs fixing, actually. I need to come back to reality and live there instead. Living in reality means becoming a scientist of shame. It's an investigation. I've never written so much about anything in my life as simple as shame. Yeah, I fucked up. I feel bad. I don't want to do it again. Period. End of discussion. Move on. I've never said investigation. It's an investigation. I can look at my shame, consider it, lament it, celebrate, treasure it, how it changes the atmospheric pressure, how it makes it possible for me to reach out to other people in the hopes of making some connection, how it opens my eyes to the beautiful little awkward minutes of this day. My shame is the fuel that keeps me writing. Yeah, but you suck at writing. You suck. So you're working for the cut. Shame when I invite it in and forgive it. Build my empathy for others. Cheat yourself and look very closely at your shame. Are you supposed to stay in a job you hate as punishment for your debts? What if you ate baked potatoes and beans and rice for a full year and tried out some new career paths? What if you reached out to other people and friends and family and let your shame into the room with you? Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. What if you decided to let go that you're an artist today, right now? You're sensitive and erratic, maybe. You're maldine and also expansive. I wonder what the English language would look like without women. Like, if it was just guys, would the thesaurus be about that yeah, you're a dick. No, you're a complete fucking asshole. No, fuck you, Bob, you're a dickhead. And there'd be like 5 or 6 other synonyms to the word dickhead. You women come up with the most fanciful and euphemistic words that just deflect. You're 95 years old, look back at your 35-year-old self, and this is what you see. A young woman so young, so disappointed, even though everything about you is really good. She doesn't see how much she's accomplished, how much she's learned, how many new joys await her. She doesn't know how strong she is. She's a blindfold. Oh, fuck, really? God almighty. But it was difficult. It made me feel dumb to show up at her house with a card. I felt embarrassed for some reason. I felt a little stupid calling her earlier today to ask if she needed anything. I don't have a ton of free time. I have a long list of things I should be doing. You know what? Twiddling a twat? Feels dopey to call someone new, someone who is much older and probably has other things to do. But this woman, I like her a lot. She's extremely interesting. She tells long-winded, wild stories. She plays poker and has a lot of friends. Sounds like my grandma. She even sang me a song she wrote in 1968. She grew up during the Prohibition, motherfuckers. She's had a lot of experiences and she's made a lot of mistakes that she doesn't mind talking about. She's a very honest person. Before I left, she gave me a porcelain cat with a grumpy expression on its face that was sitting outside covered in dust. She's getting rid of some of her older things. She says, I'd be doing her a favor by taking it. I don't need anything from you, trust me, I said. I just like your company. Take the cat anyway, she says. As I opened the front door, I turned around and told her how nice it was talking to her. She smiled. You're a human being, she said. A real human being. I am. Said, I wasn't a few years ago, but I am now. Oh my God. You girls just need a bunch of dick, don't you? All you have to be is a human being, Haunted. That's success. When you're a human being, life feels satisfying. Everything adds up. Every little thing matters. Look at what you have. This is where it all begins. All you have to do is open your eyes, Polly. The problem is if she read all that, she'd be 85 years old right fucking now! I don't know. What do you want me to say about it? Quickly summarize Haunted's question. I'll be back. Hey. People won't read the column, dude. Quickly summarize Haunted's questions. All right. Quickly summarizing it. Haunted is your standard 30-something gal who swallowed whole the leftist Marxist parent, teacher, educator, philosopher, Hollywood media. She swallowed the lie. She swallowed the propaganda. She became a strong, independent, didn't need no man, fish, bicycle. She didn't major in STEM. She followed her heart. Blah, blah, blah. This is why I can't get excited about this. This is so standard. This is cookie cutter. This is your average millennial chick. Average. Her question is, I don't feel fulfilled. I'm not where I want to be, and I have a shit ton of debt. Well, maybe you should have found a guy. Maybe you should have put yourself and your education, your career front and center. Maybe you should have been selfless. Sorry, got the hiccups. There you go. God darn it. No. I'm a loser. That's her question. I'm summarizing her. I'm a loser and I'm not happy. Well, you're not happy because you didn't find a guy. But as the response from the columnist, Heather Havrilesky, she goes into shame. Because Heather Havrilesky is a miserable person. She, too, has everything she wanted. She has New York people, and she writes for the magazine. Oh my God. She doesn't work in the Bakken oil field. She doesn't work in the Virginia coal mines. She has a degree in some fucking bullshit or another. I don't have to look it up. She's 40-something. She maybe was hot when she was younger. And she has a column where she answers equally vapid and pathetic and sad and miserable women their question, and she tells them exactly what they want to hear. Not the truth. Not, well, maybe you ought to go find yourself some dick. Maybe you ought to go find yourself a guy. Maybe you ought to go major in a real thing. Oh no, it's this shame and turn it into a power because it's amazing and you're amazing. It's standard Oprah 101. Critique columnist Heather Havronsky responds with a focus on its uselessness and self-absorption and contrast laid down. It was so painful. It was so useless because it was impractical. If you wanted to help out this gal, it's like, send me pictures. This is why when I get an email request from different consultants or clients on Asshole Consulting, I'm like, send me a picture, let me see what you look like. I don't do it because I'm like a fag or I'm like homosexual. I want to see some pictures or nudies. Or if the girl's saying, like, all right, what are we working with? What are you? Okay, you're fat. And that's like 98% of the response. You're fat. No. You can't find women because you're fat, or you can't find men because you're fat. So lose the weight and then let's go talk later. And so my advice cuts through the chase. Heather was merely an enabler. Heather is the enabler. She's the enabler. She doesn't cut through the chase. I don't think she's capable of cutting through. I think she's been in New York her entire life and like, oh my God, twiddling my twat. The woman things with the shame and the empowerment and the stuff and the things. And I don't know about you, but I like the throes of the passion of a woman. Don't know. I all my criticisms of women aside, I'm no dipshit. I'm like, yeah, women will make men happy. Mm-hmm. Or the absence of women will make men happy. But that's the extent. That's the extent. These women are looking for some kind of happiness that doesn't exist without men. And they're never going to admit that. There's men involved. They're not. They're not. They don't like men. They want nothing to do with men. They have this unrealistic expectation of what men should be. Critique what? Slop? Guys, go read the article. I'll probably put it down below. It'd take me decades to critique, or I could just say, she's your standard wrong woman. She's wrong. She's operating from false premises. She's operating from erroneous assumptions. And not only is the client, but the Ask Polly, what's her name? Marilyn something or other. Oh, wait, Heather. Heather's also going to be wrong. She's going to waste her life. She's going to waste her life. She'll be like the 95-year-old woman. She will. There will be no men. No men. Men are pretty awesome, by the way. Pretty fucking cool. I guess we could call it male avoidance. Is that what it is? Because they don't want to admit, like, oh my God, I really like men. I like a guy to take care of me and want a man. You're strong and you're dependent and you don't need no man. I like to think I was joking, but these girls actually think that. So. All right, I wish you had a bit more of a rant, but it's a defeatist rant. I don't care. I really don't care. I can't get worked up about it. I really can't. Some crazy middle-aged 35-year-old broad is asking a 43-year-old broad what she should think and da-da-da, and it's shame, da-da-da-da-da. There was nothing It's a black hole of a waste of time. That's what that article was. All right, questions, answers, Hassel Consulting. We'll see you guys later. Tools.